Hello everyone, I am Amita from Nourish Doc, a platform for natural and holistic therapies. Well, in our today's discussion or session, we are going to be talking about how diet plays an important role if you are struggling with thyroid. I was just, and I'm not a doctor, as all of you know that, but I was reading up, and most of the women, all of us have thyroid. We suffer from thyroid more than men, and that's what we want to actually plays an important role. And inviting me, I mean, joining me is actually a nutritionist. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Great, great. I was just about to introduce you, but Sarah is a transformational health coach and nutritionist. Maybe you can add a little bit to you do a better job than me of introducing yourself.
Yeah, I'd love to. So, hi everyone. It's so nice to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me to talk today. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism as a young mom in 2009. I did everything the doctors told me to do, but my condition worsened every year until I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's in 2016, in 15, sorry.
Yeah.
I was so sick at this point that I was bedridden and taken out on disability.
Oh
I
my God.
felt Yeah, it was bad. I felt so tired of fighting and like I had done everything that I could do to get better, but I just couldn't. So I decided to basically just give up because all of my hope was gone. But what I didn't know is that the universe had a different plan for me.
Hmm.
In 2016, my brother was suddenly shot 14 times and killed by the police department.
Oh.
Yeah, I basically realized at that moment, that shocking and traumatic moment, of losing my dear brother, how precious life really is.
Yeah.
And it renewed my spirit to fight my illness and to overcome it. So I decided to take health into my health into my own hands, and I started pulling my own labs. I was basically my own guinea pig,
Hmm.
and I slowly but surely started reversing both of my diagnoses. After I got myself better, I enrolled in two colleges. I obtained a health and fitness degree, and then I also got my coaching certification as a transformational nutrition coach. Now I want to give back what I've learned through my own healing. And that's why I specialize in helping women that are also struggling with thyroid illness restore their lives again.
It's a very touching story. I mean, I cannot even begin to imagine the trauma, first with
Yeah.
your health. You're saying you were disabled and you were on the bed,
Mhm.
and then your brother losing a loved one. What
Yeah.
kind of trauma and depression and all kind of things that we talk about, you must have gone through, right? I'm just
Yeah.
can't even imagine that actually.
Yeah. It was life shattering, but
Yeah,
in the long run, it was the biggest blessing that ever happened.
yeah.
And I feel as if like my brother sacrificed his life so I could regain mine.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's very touching. I'm my prayers, my very touching.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So let's and all the viewers who are watching, we are bringing educational sessions. This is not a medical advice, and so please, feel free to ask questions, comments, no problem. So let's talk with. I think your story is the best story in the sense that symptoms. What kind of symptoms when you were suffering from thyroid and Hashimoto, and you said what were the symptoms you felt, and then we'll talk through your journey on the diet part. What exactly did you do to
Yeah.
transform yourself? So I think your journey is the most beautiful journey, I personally feel.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so from what I have found out, there are many different symptoms that people
Yeah.
can experience from thyroid illness because there are so many variables that all play a role in what kind of symptoms you're going to experience.
Hmm.
And what I've discovered is a lot of those variables can be one, how much and what kind of toxic metals are inside of you. Number two, what kind of pathogen infections do you have? Number three, how severe are your nutrient deficiencies?
Hmm.
Number four, how was your diet? Number five, what kind of stress are you always under? And number six, do you always have negative thoughts towards yourself?
I see.
But the most common symptoms thyroid sufferers experience are fatigue, fatigue that comes and goes, brain fog, memory loss, mystery weight gain or mystery weight loss, thin or brittle hair and nails, food reactions and intolerances, which leads to food fear, headaches, muscle pain, joint pain, throat tightness, acid reflux, bloating, nauseousness, and sadly, there are so many more symptoms that we can add to that list.
That's, I mean, that's actually, there's so many symptoms. How do you know you have thyroid, right? I mean, that's the other thing too. So you have to get the testing done if you feel, like all of us feel a little bit of fatigue on an occasional basis, and that doesn't mean we have thyroid, right?
No, that doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of girls just experience fatigue when they're on their period just because of the hormone fluctuations, you know, or how did you sleep the night before? Sleep is a huge factor, of course. Yeah. So testing, there's a lot of testing, particular testing that you can do in order to figure this out.
So did you, so let's go back to your, so did you do, so when you said that you took the health in your hands, right? So is there a testing that you went through to figure out your T3, T4 or TSH levels? I mean,
I went crazy, and I pulled like every test I could get my hands on. And so I started with my cortisol. And then I did all of my food allergies, you know, because for me, it was about, I wanted to start broad to narrow it down. So I did my food allergies, I did my cortisol, I did my DNA, like the 23andMe test. But I think the most significant test that told me the most, the three most important tests were the GI map test, and the HTMA test, which is called hair tissue mineral analysis, and then testing for EBV, the Epstein-Barr virus, and whether or not that was like active or dormant in my system. And those three tests basically explained literally every single one of my symptoms.
I see. And then a lot of people actually are not aware of these tests that you talked about. Most of them, right? When you thyroid, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm just listening to all of you come in and talk to me. I've picked up all the things, but they talk about TSH, they talk about T3, T4, and then maybe saliva test or a Dutch test. But the ones that you talked to me, explain a little bit on these tests and what exactly did you find in these tests?
So the GI map test is, it's kind of gross, but it's like super informative. And yeah, you're right. I'm glad you said that, because these are not things that are ever talked about. And I kind of just discovered them on my own. And so the GI map test basically is, there's a particular lab that I used, and it's $500, which is actually cheap compared to what like a functional medicine doctor would charge you. And so they send you a test kit. I actually have a video on my page of me like showing the test kit. And you have to actually get some of your samples out of the toilet every day.
Oh my God. Okay.
For 3 days. I was ready to heal. And then you put it in a tube, and you have to like store them in your fridge for a couple of days until you're done. And then you mail them back to the lab. And then the lab, they send you a beautiful booklet of the breakdown of, they test your gut for like, oh my gosh, everything: mold, fungus, good bacteria, bad bacteria, pathogenic, opportunistic bacteria. I mean, the amount of testing is so diverse and crucial, honestly. And I just remember they have in the back, they have your symptoms or your results, and then like the herbs to help. And I just I sat there and I sobbed when I read it, because they tell you have E. coli overgrowth, and this is the symptoms you get from it. You have streptococcus overgrowth, and this is the symptoms you get from it. And then these are the herbs that help you. And it was just like, I was so relieved and thankful for this information. And And so this is a test that it's not something I push my clients to do. It's something I suggest if they want to really get to their root cause. Because I know it's not easy for everyone to just come up with $500 to do a test, you know?
Yes.
But I really love that one. And then the second one, the hair tissue mineral analysis is, so our hair is actually the best place to like find out information about what's wrong with you and what's going on with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like, we don't realize these things. And so we store 3 months of information in our hair tissue on whether on our minerals, our trace minerals, and our heavy metal content. And so my coaching friend and colleague, Jessica Sharp, we actually just did a HTMA live video, like, what is it? What is it for? You know, how does it work? We just did that on Saturday. So it's one of the first IGTVs on my account. Everyone can go watch that video and learn more about it. So this test is actually included in my program. It's something I do have every one of my clients do, because I really want to see nutrient deficiencies as well as heavy metal overload, because those are two huge areas that we have to touch on when it comes to reversing conditions. So those are my favorite. And then the Epstein-Barr, I mean, you can literally just Google Epstein-Barr and it says 95 to 99% of the population has it. Like, you're born with it, it's passed to you in the womb, and people don't know that it just wreaks havoc on your body, and it grows and it multiplies and it feeds and it poops, and the poop is toxic, and it attaches onto your nerves, and it causes inflammation and pain, and you got to work on getting that bug out of you. And so that's all a part of the protocol within my my program as well.
Okay. So let's talk about the diet and the cleanse, right? You talk about a lot about that. So it's diet and cleanse. How does it start working? And you know, you're the best example here. What did you do, right, to get yourself cleansed out? And
so when I was doing all of my testing, and I pulled my 184 food allergy tests, and then I was going to my doctors and I was like, test me for everything, you know, and like I was getting all of these results back that were like showing that I was allergic and reacting to like everything. And it just started getting to the point where I was like scared to eat, you know, and I'd be looking at my test going, can I eat this?
Oh,
and
my God.
It got really neurotic. And I was like, okay, step back. Like, I can't eat this way. And my boyfriend would always say the sweetest things, like, you know, I don't think God made an apple for you to like be scared of it, you know? So like, even though it says that on your test, I don't know, you know, like, so I just stopped all of that and I started listening to my body. Okay. And I started like doing food journaling. And that is also something the first week my clients come in, we start food journaling, because a lot of people don't understand and listen to their body and how they react. And so eating a proper thyroid diet is truly the keystone of recovering your health. Let me see. I don't like looking at food as a controller of like your weight. I like looking at food as food is truly medicine. Okay. And if you eat the right foods, you know, and you try to avoid the foods that aren't toxic, you know, like with pesticides and herbicides and stuff, food is truly healing. So it can be a causative agent in healing. So what I found out is that certain foods for thyroid patients can exacerbate their symptoms or can decrease and even eliminate their symptoms. So what I've learned over the years of helping my clients reverse their illnesses is that the main trigger foods are corn, soy, dairy, eggs, pork, and gluten. 6 trigger foods.
So
I know it's a lot.
You cannot eat all this. Wow. What do you eat then? What do you eat?
A lot of whole foods.
Okay.
If it's from the earth, you know, that's what
so just from the earth, just all the fruits, I mean, not fruits and vegetables,
fruits and vegetables, So in I've seen with my clients and even with myself, because I went autoimmune, I went Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
In advanced illness,
Mm-hmm.
thyroid illness,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people even react to grain and nuts and seeds. And so when you remove these trigger foods and you replace them with nutrient dense foods such as fruits, salads, vegetables, and high quality carbs like potatoes,
Yeah.
the symptoms start to go away and you find relief.
Got it.
Yeah. So what I've been able to do with my health is reverse all of the problems within my stomach and my digestive system that make it so these foods hurt me. Yeah. And I'll get more into that in a second. But this is just temporary. And this is what I always tell my clients is like, this isn't a lifestyle. This is just temporary while we get you better, because these foods cause issues for a reason. And, you know, but once you're on the other side of the spectrum, like I couldn't eat rice. It gave me the worst stomach ache. I would go to bed dying in pain. And, but now, like last night, I ate rice with dinner, you know, so it is just temporary while we're getting your body back to where it needs to be to feel good. So, you said cleanses. So I wanted to go into cleanses. So what I've learned about people that have thyroid conditions is that they usually always have a weakened adrenal glands.
I see.
And doing harsh, trendy cleanses under these conditions is just not ideal, because it forces the liver to dump too many poisons into your bloodstream too quickly. That can make you very sick and even take weeks to recover from. But, however, I do love doing certain cleanses. In fact, I just hosted a cleanse this week on my Instagram page called the Thriving Thyroid 3-Day Morning Cleanse.
Okay.
And the cleanse included drinking, so it was like from the time you wake up till lunch. So it's short, and it's like a daily detox. Yeah. And I was just feeling so like blah after like eating too many cupcakes and cookies over in Starbucks over Christmas, that I was like, you know, I just want to do a cleanse, and I'm going to teach everyone like a really gentle cleanse that you can do that even can transfer into a lifestyle. And that's what I love about it. So the cleanse includes drinking lemon water, celery juice, coconut water, fruits, gluten-free oats, millets, and potatoes. And so the reason why cleansing is important, just not like harsh cleansing, is because when we cleanse, we actually remove toxins, heavy metals, rotting food, rancid oils, pathogens, excess fat, and that the Glade plug-in that you enjoyed for Christmas get flushed out of your liver and digestive tract. And so this helps your liver function better, which helps your thyroid be able to convert its T3 and T4 hormones properly, which actually relieves stress on your adrenal glands as well.
I see.
So it's
so this
really
is like a daily,
connected.
every day. Do you recommend doing this on a daily basis, like a cleanse? If
they would like to do this particular cleanse on a daily basis, you can. It's a really effective and gentle cleanse, and it's actually particularly effective for people with thyroid illnesses. So if people want to check it out, they can. It's on my website at coachtarajoy.com/cleanse. And I give like a breakdown of how to do it, what foods to include, what foods to avoid. And I love it. It is something that is going to be a cleanse that I do every month, just to get that deeper cleaning, because we're always exposed to things, no matter what, through the air, through our water, just through living, you know? So, and that's what I love. The one thing that I love about, what I've learned is, like, instead of being scared of the world, you know, and it's like, the air is toxic, the water is toxic, you know, I got to live in a bubble. it's like, it's okay. You don't need to be scared of the world. You don't need to be scared of everything. Just if you do these gentle cleanses often,
Yeah.
you know, you can do it like with every change of the season. So like every season I'm going to do a new cleanse. You know, I love that, like a seasonal cleanse.
Yeah.
Then it just helps keep you flushed out and doing good, you know, so you can have great health.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's great. That's great. So, any particular diet that you recommend? I mean, you know, we have paleo, we have keto, we have you know, DASH. Is there any particular diet like how it's labeled? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you recommend for thyroid, or it's just like what you said, anything that comes from the ground? You know, eat that whole food.
Yeah. So I definitely don't believe in trendy diets. And I
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
believe that there's like a one size
Fits
diet
all.
that fits all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I've already explained to you, I do believe that there is a particular way to eat when you are suffering with thyroid symptoms. So the reason why I think there is a specific way to eat for thyroid illness is because I have found out there are two factors that are making certain foods cause reactions. Number one, these people that are sick from a thyroid illness are low or are missing enough of the crucial hydrochloric acid
I see.
and bile that they need in order to properly digest and assimilate and process their food. And number two, certain foods, the foods that I already named off, I'll go over them again. They feed the pathogens that are living inside of our thyroid and other organs. And those foods, again, are corn, soy, dairy, pork, eggs, and gluten. So when we eat these foods, the pathogens also eat these foods.
I see.
And so we don't want to continue to feed the pathogens that are causing us illness and symptoms. And because remember, when the pathogens, they're living organisms just like you and me.
Yeah.
And so they eat and then they go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So when they are traveling around your organs or living in your organs and eating these yummy foods that, you know, you eat bacon, they eat bacon. They're like, hey, this is great.
Yeah.
It makes them multiply and grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they start going into our body and start reacting and all kind of things happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they're just going crazy and having a party because you just ate all their favorite foods too, that's when you feel tired, bloated, constipated, achy, have pain. You can't button your pants. You look like you're 4 months pregnant. You know?
I know. We all know that feeling.
Yeah. And it's not fun.
Yeah.
So, so that's why, like I was saying, temporarily removing these foods.
Yeah.
Is the idea is basically like we want to starve out those pathogens that are making you sick.
Yeah.
And then when you bring in these foods that like increase your immune system, like fruits and vegetables and salads, they make your immune system stronger to be able to fight off and protect you against these pathogens. And so that's the concept there with, like, it's not about I'm never promoting like lack in your diet. I know it kind of seems that way because that list is kind of overwhelming when you first learn it. So it's not that I'm promoting lack. It's that let's remove these and then we will replace them with alternatives. Yeah. You know? And so, nowadays there are so many amazing alternative food companies that you can literally find a dairy alternative for anything. Yes. You love sour cream? Cool. I'll get you a dairy-free sour cream. You love, quesadillas? Cool. Yeah. I'll find you a alternative way to eat a quesadilla. Like, I can replace anything and everything that you love, like, thanks to all these amazing food companies that have popped up over the past like decade. That's right. Yeah. No, I think that's very helpful. So eliminating, the foods that are going to cause harm
in our body, and replacing them with whole foods.
Yeah.
And that's the mantra that you're talking about. And then on top of that, cleansing yourself, right?
Yes.
On a regular basis. It's very critical for our well-being, you know, and then slowly things start working, you know, towards, and the testing, we talked about the testing as well. So all this combined will help you transform, you know, help someone transform their health, you know, in a systematic way, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm hearing.
Right. And then, you know, based on your results, it's like we add in the herbs, we add in the supplements, and it's like we fix your diet, but we also add in the nutrients on top of your diet and what, you know, what area you're deficient in. And so it's just the whole picture of my program. And then you know, addressing the mindset and
the mind body.
The mindset and the spiritualness of thyroid healing is a really big part of it too, because people just feel so helpless and they feel so hopeless, and they really just need that support, you know, and that person that's gonna be like, you got this, you know, you can do this, don't give up, come on, you know. And like so that's the other component of my program that I love is I feel like I get really close with my clients, because, you know, like a best friend, because I just
you need the support. You need the support.
I understand what they're going through on a personal level, and you know, so I show them a lot of love and comfort and support as well.
That's great. That's good. Well, thank you so much. I think this is a very informational session. You know, what Sarah talked about, because she's gone through thyroid issues herself, and she walked us through the journey of her own her own personal journey. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And then walked us through the transformation of how someone who's suffering from thyroid can do the transformation part. So let us know, you know, hope this was useful, and let us know your feedback. As always, these are just educational sessions. We are coming up with the programs as well in a month's time, and we will be bringing Sarah back. But right now, that's what, just eat the whole foods. That's what Sarah's talking about, and the cleanse and the mindset and the journaling. So these are the takeaway points, right, Sarah? Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's all sounds good. I thank you so much for inviting me. This was great. It's amazing how fast time goes when you enjoy what you're talking about. But yeah, I would always love to come back and talk more. So
thank you so much for being with us. Yes, and thank you all the viewers for watching us. Bye now.
Bye. Bye-bye.